Hello and welcome to another video with me, Onyx, and obviously I have deleted all my past videos, and it's really interesting. I've been doing a lot of meditation, kind of void. I've been working with void energy, void magic, empty mind, stillness, open, and that's taken me to whole new levels of personal conver- um, personal experience and deepening my meditation practice. And so I'm creating an inner alignment. In past videos, I gave pointers on meditation, how when you really kind of align yourself, then you can naturally kind of like fall into meditation. And on one level, it was external because it was grounding, centering, physically aligning, opening your body with with a little bit of internal suggestion. Be open minded, be open hearted, be open bodied. But now the journey continues, and I started experimenting with moving into stillness, moving into the silence, moving into the empty. And I found that to be the inner alignment. So we have this outer alignment, and now we have an inner alignment. And those meditations were really transformative. And that's just some background to what's going on now, because obviously I've erased videos, and I do. And lately I've been erasing them every time I get frustrated in the creative process of becoming. I get frustrated sometimes with humanity. I get frustrated with my personal world. And recently, I asked myself, I'm like, what's going on? I've never had so much personal doubt and maybe self criticism. And then I realized, well, you've just worked through so many layers that some of the deeper layers are coming up. And so it's a continuous creative project when you, as an artist, have made yourself the art. So it's very much like alchemy. The thing being transformed, the alchemist must transform for the thing to transform. Both the experiment and the scientist get transformed. And this happens with meditation and occult and mystic practices. And so a transformation on a quantum level can happen in one moment of open hearted awareness. It could happen in one moment of being open minded. And that one moment, the setup for it, the preparation, the many times you have tried, could be years. And then all of a sudden, whatever it is that you're doing in that one moment, it's brilliant. And so I have a background in magic. And the more I became the master of my mind, my body, my energy, my intention, the more I found out in instantly in one moment of strong clarity, I could make an event happen according to my will. And I'm going to say now, I am retired from magic. I have retired from the occult. And this becoming retired happened after many magical battles with fellow mystics and shamans. Um, I, and this happened also because I've transcended it. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, are you happy with your life? Are you happy with yourself? Are you getting the maximum level of satisfaction, personal joy, a sense of, I feel good and my life has purpose and meaning? Like when you feel joy, purpose, and meaning, you should also feel fulfillment and the clarity of, yes, this is why I'm here, to help serve other people. This is why I'm here. In my service, I am growing too. My cup is full and overflowing. If you're not having those experiences, it's obviously you're not in the right career. It's obviously you're not in the right hobby, and you might not be being true to your authentic nature. And so it's like the reality of death is at our front door every day, whether it's an alien invasion, people in power misusing resources, misusing those powers, and then, or whether it's one error, you say the wrong thing to someone, you might lose a relationship, or whatever it is, you know. We're always going through many deaths, and we're always at that threshold. So you got to be having some fun. You got to be feeling some good joy to balance it out. You got to have a daily fulfillment on the smallest level. You're 1 inch closer to achieving your becoming. Like, you're learning more. There should be a satisfaction. You may not reach your goal, that it's not so much important of reaching the goal as it is enjoying the journey at the same time. So your goal might be very lofty, like enlightenment, um, or like some self-transformation, becoming a demigod or something awesome. Um, and each step, the hallway, the door should be expanding and bigger. The horizon, it's like, it's kind of like in Zen, the more you know, the more you don't know. The more you get to the silence, it's like the horizon has now moved. It's like the more you become enlightened, the more you know. It's ever enlightening. It's ever expanding. And so the horizon is now even farther away. Like you reached it. It's like you climbed the mountaintop and you thought you just climbed the biggest mountain, and then you look out and then you see a whole valley full of mountains that are even bigger. And so and so it's a humbling experience to start back at the beginning at the new level you're at. So it seems like round and round, but there's these points where all your efforts pay off. In the blink of an eye, there's a quantum leap of consciousness. There's all of a sudden an understanding of what you were doing like the last year, and where you're going and what you have to bring to the planet. So all my mystical knowledge is now dust under my feet, and I've given it away freely. And now I'm moving on to what does the world actually need? Do we really need more power? Do we really need more techniques? Do we really need more spiritual philosophy? Do we really need more technology? Or do we need to go back to our fundamental roots and start honoring our own physical being and the basics? And so to have all this, we have to come back to balance, come back to healing, come back to wholeness. It's like you can only ascend so far. Like Icarus and his wings in that fable, that Greek myth, Roman myth, I don't know. It's a myth about they make the wings and they try to fly up to the sun and the wax melts and Icarus falls down. And so it's like humility. And it's like you might have really powerful, lofty goals of being an amazing occultist. Um, but there's a point where your ego needs to be broken and you need to be remade in order to obtain or hold that new level of knowledge and power. There's a point where you have to break away from all your old relationships because they're not going to the heights that you're going to. They can't even comprehend you anymore. And you can't help it. You've done too much personal work. You've opened your heart too much. Your level of compassion is so deep, it sees beyond the mind, it sees beyond time. You know, your connection with the spirit world is so deep and strong. You see all your human connections as very shallow because their concerns are about everyday survival. But you're dancing with gods and angels and fairies and unicorns and aliens and, you know, energy and consciousness and chakras and so you might be at a different level. You might have graduated preschool and now you're going to kindergarten. And so suddenly you can't go back to preschool because you're ready for a new education. Your mind, it's ready. And so every time I deal with negative people who are still stuck in their story and they're stuck in reactive emotions, I'm like, haven't you tasted the sweetness of of being so connected to someone you love? You transcend your own body and you transcend your relationship and you become, so it's like you're one, then you become two, then the two become one, and now you're the one, and now you just want to connect to everyone and the whole universe as from parts to pieces, like all the raindrops and all the rivers coming back into the great ocean. Once you've experienced your great oceanness and you're back as a drop, you still have the memory of the ocean. And so you don't want to just talk about being a raindrop. You're not a raindrop anymore who doesn't know the taste of the ocean. You're a raindrop now who's tasted the ocean. And so everyone else is wondering what the ocean tastes like as a raindrop. And you're like, I've been there and it's amazing. And they're like, I don't understand. And you're like, well, I don't understand you anymore because I can't not unlearn. I can't not forget the experience of returning to the ocean and being one with the ocean. I am now the ocean as a raindrop. Big difference. We're both raindrops, just one has the knowledge. One has been there and is back. So the time spent together is more of a waste. It just, there's no fulfillment there for you. And so, and I feel, and so there's a new crowd for you, and it will be other raindrops who have been to the ocean. Maybe once, maybe twice, maybe many times, you know? And so we must change jobs, change families, change friends, change partners, unless they're really going forward on their journey. In one moment, your whole world can change. And in that moment of change, it could be a very subtle ripple. And the unfolding from that quantum moment, you might get what some people call a download. And it can be so profound that you don't get it at first. You got the full download, but it only registered as a little bit of awareness and understanding. But it keeps unfolding, keeps unfolding, keeps unfolding. And pretty soon you're like a mile away from the crowd. You're like transformed and changed, and you're a new person. And so when you're playing with the elements, when you're playing with power, you have to respect the power. It's like kids with matches have accidentally burned their house, their mom and dad's house down, their neighbor's house down. That's just a match. It seems so insignificant to a bomb. But really, that one little match burnt that whole building down just like a bomb. Or one match could light a bomb. And so, same with playing with spiritual powers. So, it can change you in a moment. And so, we live in a culture where we think we have to work for it. If I do yoga every day and I breathe and I then maybe in 10, 20, or 30 years I'll be enlightened. And that might happen your very first try. You're like, I only said once, and something shatters and you awaken. You understand. You see things differently from that moment on. And so I'm just going to say, pay attention to the short and long-term effects of your little efforts. And your little efforts can be quantum results. A little prayer could have a quantum impact in your life. Just like when you say one word or have one negative conversation in a negative way, it can ruin a whole relationship. And you're like, but that was just careless, meaningless, one conversation. No, it had a big impact. Your imagination can have a big impact. But so, what does the world need? What was this whole video about? And it was about, really, if you want to expand your mind, if you want to do more with your energy, if you want to heal yourself, you have to really I'm going to suggest, you don't have to, but I'm going to suggest, from I've been on a long journey of magic and mysticism and power and light and dark and all sorts of fun stuff. And if you really want that fulfillment, you might want to work on your heart chakra. And if you're like me, meditation sounds great and is interesting, but you'll always wonder if you're doing it right. And ecstatic dance sounds great and wonderful, but you don't want to be dancing. And religious prayer and devotion to a deity sounds great, but you feel foolish. And so it seems like you start going, well, what everyone else is doing might be good for them, but I want something a little bit more low key, and I want something basic. And I'm just going to say, and it's like, you don't even know that you don't even know how to love yourself. You don't even know how to take care of yourself. You don't even know how to feel your own body. And you're like, but you probably never questioned it. You know, you look in the mirror and you say, I look great, so I must love myself, or I have feelings, so I must know what I really feel. And I have daily thoughts, so I know what I'm thinking and I know what I want. And I'm telling you, everything that you think you are is so surface. And you look in, but you're only looking in with a little depth. And you have to learn to feel deeper, tune in deeper, dive deeper, probe deeper, see inwardly deeper, hear inwardly, turn all your five senses inward. That means you got to physically feel your skin, your bones, your brain, the energy of the neurons being activated. You have to feel your heartbeat, your lungs, your throat, your organs moving around. You have to feel past your physical body to an overall tone of energy, holding yourself together. And you have to feel softly. You have to learn to be soft. You have to learn to dissolve your form and go to that feeling space, an inward space, the inner infinite you. And be. You have to feel your presence and your beingness. So there's a lot of things going on. And this is fundamental to meditation. But you can reach it in more relaxed, comfortable ways, which I'm all for. So, like, you should be able to hear the blood rushing up your neck and in your ears. You should be able to feel the blood pulsing in your veins and arteries. That type of physical sensation is what's required for you to start to tune in. And then to feel the energy. So, once again, I'm bringing back the pillow because why not? Let's do something really easy. I've realized that, I thought I was okay with touch. I thought I was okay with hugging. Then I realized, no, I'm not. Who am I fooling? Don't I just kind of turn off all body sensations and hug and pat, and it all becomes superficial because I don't truly want to feel the other person. Because I'm empathic, I've been training myself to turn it all off. Because if I look at someone, I see their whole life. I know if I feel someone, I know how they've been feeling all the time. That's deep intimacy, and that requires vulnerability. So here we are, wanting great relationships. We're wanting fulfillment, and we're not getting them in our video games, in our shows, in our jobs, because there's a deep lack. There's these invisible barriers to ourself and to others. And so obviously the only person stopping you is you. If you want, so this goal of mine is a Pisces dream of having transcendent relationships beyond time and space. And all I can say is the more I do my pillow work, I'm like, this pillow is not going to beat me up. It's not going to yell at me. It's not going to pull an ugly face. It's not going to judge me. You know, it's not going to throw it in my face. It's not going to interact with me at an ego level. And I don't have to feed it. And I don't have to compliment it. I don't have to do anything. And so I can use my imagination. I can say, this could be a significant other. This could be my child. This could be my father. This could be a deity. This could be my pet. This could be a tree, a rock. This could be the whole planet. This prop can serve me to relearn how to touch in healthy ways, to hug in healthy ways, to connect and bond in healthy ways. And the ultimate truth, we're only in relationship with ourselves. So that means I could probably do 50 years of relationship therapy with just myself. And reach spiritual and transcendent states of awareness and of energy, of spirituality for sure. And all that inner work that I did, which was listening with my body, tuning in, opening up my heart, mind, being open and receptive, and just having an experience, sharing space, relaxing, learning how to just be with myself and be with this so-called other. Then it's like it's like training. Then when it's time for the real thing, I got years of experience, and I can share that with another living person, and I can integrate back into society, into healthy touch, healthy communication, healthy bonding. And so when you really look at it, everyone has what I call an attachment disorder. And it doesn't matter what attachment disorder you have. It doesn't matter the story and how you got it. You can dissolve it. And your detachment disorder includes the planet. It includes your body. It includes the oneness, the universe. Imagine how much better your goal of meditation would be if you were more attached, or should we say connected, to yourself, to source. Imagine if you got really good at connecting Then when you're connecting with your spirit guide, your angel, your ancestor, or whatever it is that you're working with, imagine how much more information you would be absorbing. And so for some people, a seated meditation might get them to enlightenment. For someone else, it will be a devotional prayer. For others, an act of service. You know, for others, it will be an intellectual thing, debating with great minds. You know, there's so many ways. All the paths are one, and they're getting us all to the same place. For me personally, I want to build. I want to come. So it's like what you want is what you are, and what you want, you must become. What do I want? I want to be in the presence of a divine being with awesome energy. I want to escape the harshness of reality by being in the energy and the presence of a divine being. And what would that feel like? And what would that be like? I must become it. My own wish and my own desire I become it, it becomes my power. Then I get to offer that to the world if I feel like it. I will be it. So your deepest goals and desires are only pointing the way to your unlimited potential, your divinity, your soul, your spirit, your purpose. So it doesn't matter what direction you're going, get going on, and it will so let's say you're going the wrong direction. You just keep going. It's going to get more wrong, and then you'll get the clarity to go the right direction. Then when you're going the right direction, you keep going, and you become your destination. You are your path. So everything that you're doing is valuable. Every moment you spend is valuable. So I've kind of said goodbye to a lot of garbage as I start moving towards what feels more right, what is actually working. Enlightenment shouldn't be hard. Accessing healing energy shouldn't be hard. Shifting your reality and the reality of the whole world shouldn't be hard.